In our series so far, we have compared Pi with the giants of the past and present of crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Today, we look to the future, a future dominated by one force, artificial intelligence, AI. In the age of AI, deepfakes, and bots, how do you prove you are a unique human? This question is at the heart of our most controversial and timely comparison. On one side, we have Pi Network, with a slow, paper-based KYC process. On the other side, a project from one of the most powerful men in tech, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. A project with a radical solution, a global retinal scanning device called the Orb. This is Worldcoin. Both projects share a common vision, distributing cryptocurrency to everyone on the planet. Both require you to prove your identity to participate. But their methods represent two completely different futures for digital identity. Over the next 40 minutes, we will decode the battle for your identity. This is Pi versus Worldcoin. Part 1. Vision. P2P. Commerce versus Universal Basic Income. To understand their methods, we must first understand their goals. Pi's vision. A peer-to-peer, P2P commerce network. As established, Pi's goal is to create a utility-based economy. You prove you are human through KYC to participate in a marketplace, buying and selling goods, and using apps. The coin is a tool to facilitate this new social economy. This vision is practical and commerce-focused. Worldcoin's vision, a universal basic income, UBI, for the AI age. Worldcoin's vision, driven by Sam Altman, is much larger and more abstract. He believes that as AI takes over human jobs, a global UBI will become necessary. To distribute this UBI, you need a system that can verify every human on Earth once and only once to prevent fraud. The Worldcoin project, the Orb, World ID, and the WLD token is designed to be the infrastructure for this future. This vision is a top-down, global solution to a potential future social problem. Analysis. This is a key difference. Pi is trying to solve a current crypto problem. Accessibility and utility. Worldcoin is trying to solve a future social problem, job displacement by AI. One side is building an economy, the other is building a global social safety net. Part 2. Identity proof, KYC versus the Orb. This is the core of our comparison. The methods they use to verify your identity. Pi Network's method, traditional KYC. As detailed in video number 7, Pi uses a system you are familiar with. How it works. You submit government-issued documents, passport, driver's license, to a hybrid AI and human verification system. Pros. It uses existing trusted infrastructure, your ID. The process is familiar to users. Cons. It is slow, often frustrating, and not anonymous. It directly links your real identity to your Pi account. And as discussed, it requires you to trust Pi's core team and their third-party providers with sensitive personal data. Worldcoin's method, the Orb and Retinal Scan. Worldcoin's solution comes straight from science fiction. Arseny. How it works. You must go to a location with the Orb, a custom biometric imaging device. You look into the Orb and it scans your retina. It then uses this scan to create a unique iris code, like a digital fingerprint. This iris code is stored on the blockchain. Your World ID is created, proving you are a unique human without storing your name, address, or the actual retinal image. Pros. In theory, it is AI-proof. You cannot fake a retina. It is fast, the scan takes a few minutes, and it is anonymous. Your World ID is not publicly linked to your name. Cons. The dystopian factor is a major barrier. Many people feel extremely uncomfortable with the idea of a private corporation scanning their eyeballs. The project is highly centralized. The orbs are built and controlled by one company, Tools for Humanity. There are still major privacy concerns about biometric data, despite their claims of data deletion. Finally, it has a big accessibility problem. you must live near one of the few hundred orbs worldwide. Analysis: this is a philosophical clash. Pi chose a slow, messy, but familiar path using existing ID systems. Worldcoin chose a fast, clean, high-tech path, requiring users to accept a new form of biometric verification, which many find concerning. Part 3. Economics: gamified mining versus VC-backed airdrop. Their economic models are as different as their verification methods. Pi's economics, a grassroots model. As we know, Pi is not backed by venture capital. Its token distribution is a gamified, long-term mining process designed to build and attract a community over years. Value is intended to be built gradually from within the ecosystem. Worldcoin's economics, a Silicon Valley model. Worldcoin is a typical VC-backed startup. It has raised hundreds of millions from top investors like Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z. Its token, WLD, is distributed via an airdrop to users verified with an orb. Model: the goal is rapid growth. VCs invest huge sums, the project launches a token, airdrops it to create initial hype and a user base, and aims for quick listings on major exchanges. Tokenomics: WLD's tokenomics are complex, with a large allocation reserved for early investors and the core team, who can sell into the market over time. Analysis: we return to the central theme of the previous video: community power versus investment fund money. Pi's model is slow, organic, and its value is theoretical. Worldcoin's model is fast, well-funded, and its token has a real market price, albeit volatile. However, it comes with expectations of huge returns for its wealthy early investors. Part 4. Ethical dilemmas, tough questions. This comparison forces us to ask some difficult ethical questions beyond technology. Worldcoin has faced heavy criticism for its deployment strategy, mainly targeting people in developing countries, offering them a small amount of WLD tokens, worth maybe $50 at the time, in exchange for their unique biometric data. Critics argue this exploits financially vulnerable people. Is it ethically right to ask someone to trade their permanent, unchangeable biometric identity for a small speculative asset? At the same time, we must ask the same about Pi. Is it ethically right to ask millions to watch ads, contribute to your network, and hand over their KYC data for years, all in exchange for a coin with no guaranteed future value? Both models rely on a promise of future value to encourage users to give up something valuable in the present, whether biometric data or their time and personal information. There is no easy answer here. Conclusion and the future of identity. So, in the battle for digital identity, who wins? Pi and Worldcoin are two sides of the same fascinating coin. Both recognize that in the future, proof of identity will be one of the most valuable commodities in an AI-filled world. Worldcoin's approach is top-down, corporate, and technologically radical. It is a fast, clean, but ethically controversial solution that requires you to trust its futuristic technology. Pi's approach is bottom-up, community-driven, and technologically conservative. It is a slow, messy, but more familiar solution that asks you to trust its long-term vision. Neither side has a perfect answer. Worldcoin is faster and more powerful, but its method raises serious red flags about a dystopian future. Pi's method is more traditional, but its process is inefficient, and its lack of transparency is a major flaw. This comparison is not just about two crypto projects. It is about two possible futures for how we define and verify our identities online. We have compared Pi with the biggest names and most controversial challengers. But what does all this mean for Pi's place in the world? In the next and final video of the mini-series, Pi versus the World, we will synthesize everything we have learned from these comparisons to answer one final question. What is Pi Network's true position in the crypto universe? Is it a competitor, a niche player, or just a social experiment? Subscribe so you can be there for the grand finale.